Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture number 2 of power system stability. In this lecture, we will discuss power angle curve and derivation of power angle equation and derivation of maximum steady state power. So, in this lecture number 2, in figure, it shows a synchronous machine represented by EMF behind the direct axis synchronous reactance, that is EMF is E angle delta. So let us consider a synchronous machine connected to an infinite bus through a transmission line of reactance XL as shown in figure. Let us assume that the resistance and capacitance are neglected. So this is the lecture number 2, just one step before of swing equation. So there are some assumptions in solving the swing equation. Certain simplifying assumptions are usually made, and these are number 1, mechanical power input to the machine, that is PM, remains constant during the period of electromechanical transient of interest. In other words, we can also say it means that the effect of the turbine governing loop is ignored, being much slower than the speed of the transient. This assumption leads to pessimistic result. That means governing loop helps to stabilize the system. So number 1. Next, number 2, rotor speed changes are insignificant. These have already been ignored in formulating the swing equation. And number 3, effect of voltage regulating loop during the transient, that is ignored. As a consequence, the generated machine EMF remains constant. This assumption also leads to pessimistic results. Voltage regulator helps to again stabilize the system. So before the swing equation can be solved, it is necessary to determine the dependence of the electrical power output, that is PE, upon the rotor angle. So this dependence is discussed by power angle equation and also by power angle curve. So here in figure, equivalent diagram of synchronous machine connected to an infinite bus. Here E angle delta, this is the EMF behind the subtransient reactance, behind the synchronous reactance XT. This is called the direct axis synchronous reactance of the machine. XL, reactance of the transmission line, and V angle 0, voltage of infinite bus. So equivalent diagram of a synchronous machine connected to an infinite bus through a transmission line of series reactance XL is shown below. So power angle curve next. So this is same diagram here also, an equivalent one line diagram. So let XL be the reactance of transmission line, and again let us assume that line resistance and capacitance are neglected. Okay. So here let us suppose V voltage, that is V angle 0, this is the voltage of infinite bus, and E capital E, this is equal to E angle delta, voltage behind direct axis synchronous reactance of the machine. XT, synchronous or transient reactance of the machine. It's a very simple diagram. Now objective is what is the complex power delivered by the generator to the system. So how can you find the complex power? By simple formula S, that is equal to V into I star. Here I star is the complex conjugate of I. So what is the value of I from previous diagram? Very simple. This E angle delta EMF minus V angle 0 divided by total reactance, that means J XT plus XL. So simple formula, simple rule, KVL. V equal to V into E angle delta minus V angle 0 minus divided by J XT plus XL. Let us suppose XT plus XL equal to X. Okay. So that equal to V into E angle delta minus V angle 0 divided by Jx star, complex conjugate. Okay. So after this, V into E angle delta divided by X angle 90. This is Jx, rectangular form. So in polar form, this can also be written as X angle 90 degree plus J V by X. In just one step before, here minus sign, but here plus sign, because multiplied by J in numerator and denominator, so J square and J square equal to minus 1. So S, that is equal to EV by X angle 90 minus delta minus J V square by X. Okay, so again S, that is equal to EB by X, this is the polar form, angle 90 minus delta. So this can also be written as in cos and sine form as, so EV by X cos 90 minus delta plus J sine 90 minus delta minus J V square by X. So S, that is equal to EV by X sine delta plus J EV by X cos delta minus J V square by X. This is equation number 2. So equating the real and imaginary part, so PE plus JQE. PE active power, active electrical power, and QE reactive power. So EV by X sin delta plus J EV by X cos delta minus J V square by X. So equating the real and imaginary part, we have active power transferred to the system, that is equal to PE EV by X sin delta, and reactive power transferred to the system, that is QE equal to EV by X cos delta minus V square by X. So equation number 3 and 4. Equation number 3, active power transferred to the system, and equation number 4, reactive power transferred to the system. Now what is the maximum condition? So maximum steady state power transfer occurs when delta equal to 90 degree, because sin 90, that is equal to 1. So PE max, that is equal to EV by X sin 90. So again sin 90 equal to 1, so this is EV by X. So in place of EV by X in equation number 3, we can also write PE max. So this is the PE max. PE max, P equal to PE max sin delta. This equation called the power angle equation. Okay. Now this is the power angle curve. The graphical representation of power PE and the load angle delta is called the power angle diagram or power angle curve. Such a diagram is widely used in power system stability studies. In this diagram, in y-axis electrical power PE and x-axis load angle delta. As you see, maximum power is transferred when delta equal to 90 degree. As delta is increased beyond 90 degree, PE decreases and becomes 0 at delta equal to 180 degree. And beyond delta equal to 180 degree, PE becomes negative, which implies that the power flow direction is reversed and the power is supplied from the infinite bus to the generator. Okay, so the value of PE max is very often called the pull out power and also called the steady state limit. Okay, now in power angle equation, as you all know, PE max equal to EV by X. So the total reactance X between two voltage source EV and E is called the transfer reactance. It is seen that the maximum power limit is inversely proportional to the transfer reactance. So equation P equal to EV by X sin delta, that is valid for both steady state and transient conditions. For steady state conditions, we use synchronous reactance and we take E as the EMF behind synchronous reactance. And for transient conditions, the transient reactance XT dash is used and capital E is taken as the EMF behind transient reactance. So it's all about power angle equation and power angle curve. Now next, this is the power flow derivation. Here this is described by a simple question. Develop an expression for the maximum steady state power which can be transmitted over the line if the voltage at each end is maintained constant. Neglect the effect of capacitance of the line, and so that if the reactance X of the line could be varied, the resistance remaining constant, the maximum steady state power that could be transmitted over the line would be greatest when X equal to root 3 R. Very important derivation, power flow. So here V1 angle delta, as shown in diagram, V1 angle delta, that is sending in voltage, and V2 angle 0 receiving in voltage, and resistance R and reactance X. So R plus Jx, this is equal to Z angle theta, this is the impedance, and current I angle phi. Okay, so what is the value of I? Again, simple formula, voltage V1 angle delta minus V2 angle 0 divided by total impedance. So I V1 angle delta minus V2 angle 0 divided by Z angle theta. So we can also write I equal to V1 by Z angle delta minus theta minus V2 by Z angle minus theta. So power received, objective is what is the power received. So power received, that is given by real part of V2 into I star. V2 voltage at the receiving end into I star. I star is the complex conjugate of current. So what is P2? P2 equal to real part of V2 into what is the value of I? V1 by Z angle delta theta minus delta, because here this is star complex conjugate, that's why theta minus delta, and minus V2 by Z angle theta in place of minus theta because complex conjugate. So this P2, that is equal to V1 V2 by Z cos of theta minus delta minus V2 square by Z cos theta. This is the real part. So equation number 2, this is the P2 real part. So let us suppose theta equal to 90 minus alpha, and this is for impedance triangle, from impedance triangle. So what is P2? V1 V2 by Z cos 90 minus alpha minus delta minus V2 square by Z cos 90 minus alpha. So this is equal to V1 V2 by Z cos 90 minus alpha plus delta minus V2 square by Z cos 90 minus alpha. So after solving, we get P2 equal to V1 V2 by Z sin alpha plus delta minus V2 square by Z sin alpha, represented by equation number 3. Now this power received P2 is maximum. कब होगा maximum? When alpha plus delta, that is equal to 90 degree. So apply this P2 max. V1 v2 by z sin 90 that is equal to 1. So v1 v2 by z minus v2 square by z sin alpha. So from this triangle, what is sin alpha? This is equal to r by z. So p2 max that is equal to v1 v2, and what is z? That is equal to r2 square plus x square, r square plus x square minus v2 square divided by under root r square plus x square into r divided by r square plus x square. Now what is when v1 equal to v2? We have p2 max that is equal to v2 square divided under root r square plus x square minus v2 square divided by under root r square plus x square into r divided under root r square plus x square. So after solving we get p2 max equal to v2 square, take common, 1 by under root r square plus x square minus r by r square plus x square. Now from now equation number 4. Now this p2 max to be maximum. Now here apply maxima minima condition. So we have dp2 max by dx that is equal to 0. So apply maxima minima condition, simple differentiation. So after differentiation rule, apply differentiation concept. So we have 4r square that is equal to r square plus x square. So 4r square minus r square equal to x square, and finally we get x equal to root 3r. So this shows that the maximum power can be transferred from end 1 to end 2 when the reactance of the line is under root 3 times its resistance. So this is the maximum steady state power derivation, very important derivation. Okay. Now here we have one numerical also, a very important numerical concept of two-port network also used here. The ABCD constant of a nominal pi network representing a three-phase transmission line are A equal to D equal to 0.97 angle 0.6, B equal to 60 angle 70 degree, and C equal to 0.001 angle 90 degree. Find the steady state stability limit if both the sending end and receiving end voltages are held constant at 132 kV. Part A with the ABCD constants as given. Part B with the shunt admittance neglected, and C with both the series resistance and shunt admittance neglected. So if you remember lecture number 1 of power system stability, that is derivation, there is one derivation, synchronous machine connected to infinite bus. So in that derivation हम लोगों ने फाइंड किया था steady state stability limit maximum power. So the value is Vs Vr by B minus A Vr square by B cos beta minus alpha. This is the formula. So when Vs equal to Vr equal to 132 kV, so apply PR max Vs Vr by B minus A Vr square by B cos beta minus alpha. Beta is the angle of B and alpha angle of A. So after solving this simple equation we get the final answer. Here also cos beta minus alpha, cos 70 minus 0.6. Beta is the angle of B and alpha angle of A. So we get 191.29 megawatt. Now B when with the shunt admittance neglected. So here from the two-port network analysis and synthesis concept of two-port network, we have A equal to D equal to 1 plus Z by 2 interrelationship, and B equal to Z and C equal to Y 1 plus Z by 4. So as given in the question, shunt admittance neglected. So A equal to D, this is equal to 1 angle 0, and B equal to Z 60 angle 70 degree, and C equal to 0. Again apply same equation, PR max Vs Vr by B minus A Vr square by B cos beta minus alpha, and we get 191.0 0.77 megawatt. Now last one, with both the series resistance and shunt admittance neglected. So we have again A equal to 1 angle 0, D equal to also 1 angle 0, and what is C? Admittance neglected, that's why V. And what is B? B equal to Z, that is equal to R plus GX equal to 60 angle 70 degree. This is polar form. So when we write in rectangular form, then we have R plus JX equal to 60 cos 70 plus J 60 sin 70. So resistance also neglected. So B equal to what? JX. So we have 56.38 angle 90 degree. So what is the value of beta? 90 degree. So again apply same formula, PR max, maximum steady state limit, Vs VR by B minus A VR square by B cos beta minus alpha, and we get 309.046 megawatt. So simple numerical. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you very much, and wish you all good luck.